Hey guys, Rexlent here. Welcome to another video, this time for Dual Knight Abyss. And as you all know, Dual Knight Abyss is having its version 1.1 patch, Huaxu. Lots of exciting new things coming in this patch, especially the huge graphical update. And most of all, the new character for the first half of this patch, Fushu. So Fushu is an OP addition to the game, and this video will be a crash course on how to play her. So before we go through the technical parts of the tooltip, I'll just straight up show you what she does. If you look at the bottom of the screen, there's 3 dragon icons here. So when she's at Intron 0, there's going to be 2. And when it's at Intron 2, there's going to be 3. So just focus on 2 for now, and I'll explain all of it later. Now what happens is when I press her E skill, she's going to put down this bubble, similar to Rebecca, and then it's going to pulse every 3 seconds. And every 3 seconds, it's going to give a bit of healing, and most importantly, sanity recovery. So every 3 seconds, she gets 12 sanity to everyone, the whole team. So I put down this bubble. You can put it down up to 2. So I have 2 placed now. Look at her sanity recovery. It's so OP. It's basically essentially infinite sanity if you manage it right. So that's most of Fushu's kit. You place down 2 bubbles, press E twice, and then it's gonna keep pulsing and give everyone sanity. See how it regens all the way back to full in no time. Now for ultimate, Fushu is going to give another buff to all the allies. She's going to give everyone ultra shield, attack speed increase, and also skill damage increase. So she not only gives you infinite sanity, she also gives you massive boost in damage, and any character that benefits with skill damage, for example Lisbel, Berenica, even Psyche, they will all benefit from Fushu's buff. Okay, so now let's take a look at her stats. So in the attribute screen over here, you can see that Fushu mainly scales from everything sanity related. Sanity, skill damage, skill range, skill duration, and skill efficiency. Now let's take a look at her skills in detail now, since I already explained roughly how they work. So summon, the bubble, that's called Yun Chi. You can only place 2 at a time. And it's going to inherit all the stats, deal hydro damage to 5 enemies every second, and restore HP and sanity every 3 seconds. Sanity cost 42, that's not a problem. Effect radius, duration. So effect radius, duration, and skill damage. The most important attribute here to push would be skill duration and skill range. Obviously for a bigger skill range, you can play around further and stay within her buff. And also skill duration. Skill duration, you want to stop it at 15 seconds buff. So this has a buff duration of 10 seconds. You want to get her skill duration to 150% so that the sanity buff can tick up to 5 times. Since it ticks every 3 seconds, you want to push it all the way to at least 15 seconds. So for example, I have 170% skill duration here. So her bubble is going to stay for 17 seconds. I'm going to get 5 ticks out of it, 17 divided by 3. Like so. So the sweet spot would be 15 seconds. That's pretty easy to get with your demon wedges. You can probably push to 18 seconds if you're controlling Fushu on your own with the additional buff from ranged weapon. Otherwise, if she's playing as a AI, then just aim for 15 seconds. Leveling the 2 passives after the first skill is also really important since it gives you additional 15% skill duration. So that's what the first skill does. It just pulses and gives everyone a bit of healing and most importantly, sanity recovery. 12 sanity recovery every 3 seconds. Times 2, so that's 24 for 2 bubbles. And now for her ultimate. Ultimate is really simple. Ultimate deals damage to everyone and gives everyone ultra shield. That's an additional shield on top of your HP bar. And attack speed increase. And 9 needle therapy buff to everyone. So that's also skill damage increase to your whole party based on Fushu's skill damage. And if we look at the scaling over here, the most important one, as usual, is skill duration. You just want it to go as long as possible so you don't have to keep it topped up every time. So with about 150% skill duration, you can get about 19 seconds of buff here for both attack speed buff and her skill damage buff. So for that skill damage boost, it's 22% of Fushu's skill damage, and the cap increase will be 120%. That's insane. 120% is really high. There's also something in her passive skill that also boosts this even more. So let's take a look at it. Her first passive skill, using a combat or ultimate skill by anyone will grant 1 stack of skill speed increase up to 2 stacks. So it's 9.3% skill speed increase at level 6. And then it's for 10 seconds due to my duration buff. So you see how skill duration buffs pretty much everything for her. And for the next node on her passive skill, increase skill damage based on the number of Yun Chi on the field. So that's for her own skill damage. You can place 2 Yun Chi. So that's 33% times 2, 66%. Now, interestingly, we'll just jump over to an Intron for now. So for Intron 1, every time when she puts up her ultimate buff, everyone gets a 30% defense ignore when they deal skill damage. So this is already massive. Now Intron 2 gets even crazier. Intron 2 straight up allows you to put one more Yunchi. So you can put 3 bubbles now. Hence the 3 dragon icons on the bottom of the screen. Normally you will only have 2, but since I'm already at past Intron 2, I have 3. So this is what happens. You can place 3 bubbles, 3 times the sanity recovery. Look at how fast it goes back up again. You're never running out of sanity at Intron 2, so Intron 2 is highly recommended to get for Fushu. Like so. It's crazy. Keep it topped up, especially if you have the duration up to 15 seconds. And then drop an ultimate. Keep the buffs up. See, it's never going down. So with that said, before I move on to other Introns, since you can place down 3 Yunchi, remember her second passive, increase skill damage based on the number of Yunchi on the field. So now that you have 3 Yunchi, it's gonna go up to 99% skill damage boost for Fushu herself. And since the more skill damage Fushu gets, the more skill damage increase everyone's gonna get based on her 9 needle therapy buff from her ultimate. So far so good. She's pretty straightforward to play, straightforward to build. Alright, so when it comes to her skill leveling priority, I have everything at level 6 since that's easy to get. But to go past that, we'll look at the scaling. So for the first skill, placing down the bubble, the Yunchi, it only scales the summon damage and summon healing. It doesn't do that much, so I recommend keeping this as 6 first. And if we look at the ultimate scaling, ultimate, you will always get your attack speed boost increase and also skill damage increase. So this is what you want to level. You get more ultra shield, you get 5% attack speed per level and also 2% skill damage per level. So highly prioritize leveling her ultimate all the way to 10 if you can. This is her main stick, followed by passive. Passive, it's gonna give her additional skill speed boost per stack. So with that said, prioritize ultimate, followed by passive, and then summon. And then for her passive note, definitely get all the passives on the third row. The second one, skill damage increase based on Yunchi on the field. And for the last one, this one's interesting. Increase skill damage for self and allies if 2 or more characters on the team share the same element. So this is a further 10% skill damage boost. It's still something. Now let's talk about her demon wedges. So this is still an early iteration. If you guys have figured out an even more efficient way, don't forget to just leave it in the comments. It will help everyone. But this is something that I've come up with that will give her an all-around increase in her stats. So first things first, wings inspo. This is a no-brainer. Sanity and skill efficiency increase. And then Sea Wave Wildfire. So Sea Wave Wildfire, we're gonna go with the one that gives skill damage and skill range. Followed by Prime Serenity. Restores additional sanity by 7. Also no-brainer, she's gonna be the sanity battery for the whole team. Followed by Frosty Torrent. Frosty Torrent gives skill damage and also whenever a Hydro character uses a skill, aka herself, the user and nearby allies gain an attack increase. So this is really good for everyone. Now on the right side, we're just gonna spam Blaze Spectrum. It gives a skill range plus 30%, skill range plus 30%. 3 Blaze Spectrum. This is to compensate for Eternity Abnegation, which gives a skill duration plus 40%. And also at a trade-off of minus 60% skill range. And then for the middle Demon Wedge, you can just put something like Rescue. And for her melee weapon, this is the new weapon, Halcyon Gracefall. It's going to be available in the Immersive Theater, made to synergize with Fushu herself. So the weapon effect would be skill damage plus 20%, and when a Hydro character deals crit damage with this weapon, increase skill damage by 17% for everyone. So this one is really straightforward to build. You just need to build a crit rate and push the crit rate all the way up as high as possible so that she keeps critting to trigger the weapon effect. You can use this as a reference. And now let's look at her total stats. You're going to get something like this. So 168 skill damage, 148 skill range, and for skill duration, we've already hit past the 150% marker. So we're going to get 5 ticks of the bubble sanity recovery and 117 skill efficiency. So this is already good enough. So what you're going to see is this. So 2 bubbles to pretend that it's I0. So 5 ticks in total. You can see the duration at the bottom here. So let me put down one more bubble. So see, it starts with 15 seconds. So I'm going to get 5 ticks total. This is an example if it's I2, and this is the range of it. So we're simulating with only one weapon if you're going to play Fushu as AI support. If you want to actively control Fushu as a full support, then you can probably give her something like Arclight Apocalypse for the additional buff when she shoots. And then you just load it up with crits on this. Or you can change it to some other weapon that gives skill range. something like Soul Rend that gives massive skill range increase. It's up to you, but normally you would just set Fushu on AI and just give her Halcyon Gracefall and you're good to go. So with that said, let me show you a demonstration with this team with Fina and both Fushu. So Fina's going to be the one giving all the damage increase support, and then Fushu's going to be doing the same with skill damage and sanity. And I will use Psyche, who drains sanity and HP a lot, and we'll see what happens when we fight against level 80 Sybil. So that's how Fushu really shines in all the team. Like for example, the Psyche that I was using, I put all damage demon wedges on purpose without much sanity related wedge apart from Wings Inspo. So Fushu helps a lot with elevating that. You don't have to put too many sanity related wedges to compensate for the cost. Fushu can handle all of that and then allowing your DPS to put more damage related demon wedge. She's generally a very versatile character. Like you can even put someone very skill related heavy like Lisbel, and then you'll be spamming your skill non-stop without end. So this is example with Lisbel. I'm just gonna spam her E skill like so, non-stop. It doesn't go down. So imagine this is in a commission. You can just spam this. So that's pretty much it for Fushu in a nutshell. We've already looked at her Intron. Intron 1, ignore defense by 30% when she does her ultimate. Intron 2, the sweet spot, highly recommended to get, allowing you to put 3 of her bubbles. Intron 4 gives an additional stack of the skill speed from her passive and also 12% morale boost, so this is an all-around damage increase for the whole team. And Intron 6 would just turn Fushu into a more DPS oriented character. So looking at all this, the sweet spot would be Intron 2, and then it'll be 4, and then 5 and 6. So with that out of the way, let's look at the fun stuff. With Huaxu Patch Live, don't forget to claim your free rolls every day. Log in for 7 days to claim all this. 10 rolls in total. And this one, Fushu's swimsuit, you've seen this in the PV. She looks so good in this, totally transforming her appearance. Especially with the new graphical update, everything just looks so clean. Not to mention, you can also dye this skin to your liking, like so. So highly recommended to get this skin. This will be in the gacha for the 25 of the prisms. So don't miss this skin. OP support and OP skin 2 in 1. I'm definitely getting it myself. And of course, to get Fushu herself, just do your immersive theater all the way up to Immortal Repertoire. And then you can also exchange for Halcyon Gracefall in the Memento shop. But yeah, hopefully this guide has been helpful to you guys in understanding how to play Fushu. A totally must-get OP support character, seeing as she gives you unlimited sanity, just like in this clip over here. As for the new skin, Verdant Serenity, one skin selector chest will be given free during the event. Simply log in to claim the reward, and then you can open it and pick it for your favorite character. But yeah, download link is in the description below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.